Garfield's Pet Force is an animated feature film from 2009. This is directed by Mark A.Z. Dippé and Won J. Lee and written by Jim Davis. And I apologise if I've mispronounced any of those names. And we have a voice cast, including Frank Welker, Vanessa Marshall. Great voice acting, decent enough animation quality, but I really hated the narrative. It's not what I expect or look for in a Garfield film. Maybe a Garfield film I'd ever seen. Well, I still wouldn't be enjoying it. I probably wouldn't be watching anymore. But if you're a Garfield fan, I don't think you're going to care for it. If you're just looking for a sci-fi based story, maybe you'll enjoy it. This is about Emperor John and Garfield, who comes up against aliens and zombies. And it just gives the impression of they think that a film needs aliens and zombies to be interesting. And let's face it, many films nowadays do include aliens and or zombies, usually one or the other. And I feel like a film doesn't need those elements to be interesting. They could have told a Garfield story without trying to include things that are, I guess, hot topics at the moment. Because Garfield doesn't need aliens and zombies to be interesting. Let's face it, most Garfield films don't include aliens, and most of them are actually adorable and quite effective, and I feel like it was just not the right approach for a Garfield film. If they wanted to tell an alien-based story, I don't think they should have done it with Garfield. It's not good. It's too different to other Garfield films. If you're in the mood for a Garfield film, I'd say don't watch this because it's not typical, and sometimes breaking the mold is okay. Sometimes doing things a little bit differently can work out well. But for me, that certainly wasn't the case here. Taking that out of the equation, is it a good story? Not really. It's quite a weak narrative. I feel like they just threw a whole bunch of elements at it because they didn't really know what would work. And for me, at least, nothing really worked about it. Yes, I did like Garfield as a character. I did like watching his character, but the story itself just wasn't engaging. It wasn't interesting. I guess it gets points for being creative, but creative doesn't always translate to enjoyable. So the animation style is okay. Garfield as a character is obviously great. The voice acting is very good, but the narrative's just a little all over the place, and in my opinion, not the right approach for a Garfield film. It does just feel like they were thinking, how can we target Garfield to a different audience? Many people like aliens and zombies, let's go with that. But Garfield films generally are really great on their own. They're sweet, the stories are lovely, Garfield's personality really shines, and that's usually the strong selling point. And all of that takes a backseat here and is barely present. So I don't think they took the right approach with Garfield's Pet Force. I don't think it's an interesting story. Had I never seen Garfield or even heard of Garfield, and I was just looking for a sci-fi based animation, it would still be quite a weak experience. And I paid for this as well. It wasn't expensive. I bought the DVD for, I think, a few pound on Music Magpie or eBay. I can't remember. One of the two. But I certainly didn't pay a lot for it. But more than I would have wanted to because it wasn't worth anything. I didn't enjoy it. I don't recommend it if you're a Garfield fan. And if you're not that bothered about Garfield and you're just looking for a good story, I don't think it's worth it either. Garfield's Pet Force wasn't very good. I don't even think it had potential either. I just don't think it was the right decision. For me at least, Garfield's Pet Force did not work at all.